Guess you got a haircut before remembering to film the intro for this video. In case you were wondering, it's me. Well, this shirt seems especially appropriate now. Hello, ye lads, lasses, and anyone in between. My name's KP, aka Sir Legless Lad. So I wanted to have this video be separate because Kathleen's experience was very different from mine, and so I thought it would be good for you all to hear what that was like for her. And if you haven't seen last week's video where I was explaining my journey to getting my kidney transplant, you should go check it out. It should pop up right around here. It was a bit of a roller coaster both before and after the kidney transplant, so strap in for a bumpy ride. And that'll help clear things up in this video too. Maybe there's somebody out there who is thinking about donating an organ to somebody, and I just wanted to make this to kind of hopefully ease your minds about anything that has to do with donating an organ and seeing that it's not so bad. And if you're willing to, then it's a wonderful gift that you can give to somebody. Or maybe you're just interested in medical stuff and think that these kind of videos are interesting. Either way, I hope I am helping people by making these videos. So if you like these kinds of videos, please let me know so that I know what you guys like and I can keep making them. And with that, we're gonna go right into the interview. Alright, so here we are with my sister. This is Kathleen, and she's the one who donated her kidney to me.
Why are you doing that voice?
I don't know.
Talking normally.
Alright, fine.
Try again.
Alright, so this is my sister. This is Kathleen, and she's the one who donated her kidney to me.
I did.
Yeah. So we're just gonna get the perspective from her. So I gave you the recipient point of view, and so she's gonna give you her perspective from the donor side. See if it's any different. So, first question was, what made you consider giving me a kidney in the first place?
Well, we always knew that eventually you would need to get a kidney, and so, you know, we started with the oldest people. My mom and my dad and our older brother Kevin went through the testing, and you know, they have to find a perfect match, and all three of them had something that kept them from being able to donate, and so I was kind of next in line. And at that point in time, it wasn't even a question in my mind. It just was like, well, you're my brother, I love you, and if you need a kidney and I have an extra one, why not?
Yeah.
So
it's extra. Who needs the extra one?
So it was actually a really easy decision. It was, you know, a no-brainer for me.
Well, I appreciate it, because I know you don't do well with needles and stuff like that.
Yeah, and there was a lot of needles, so it definitely was a little bit of a process to get to that point. Yeah.
I remember when you were getting your blood drawn the first time and you were freaking out about the needle, and the lady said, you know, she's probably going to be the one to donate the kidney.
More needles.
Yes. So, like you said at the beginning, that there were the people ahead of you. Did you think that you were gonna end up being the one?
In a weird sense, I think I kind of did. Yeah, in my mind, I don't know what it was. It was just kind of was like a feeling that I had. I was like, well, yeah, that makes sense that they weren't a match, and I probably will be a match, and it will just work out that way. I mean, when I was younger, no, but when they were going through the process, there was always kind of like a whisper in the back of my mind that it was probably going to be me.
Okay.
Maybe that was God's way of kind of mentally or emotionally preparing me to go through that whole process.
That makes sense. Well, cool. I didn't know that you were thinking that. Was there ever a point where you were like, never mind, I don't want to do this, this is too much, and like change your mind about it, or?
Not really.
Not really?
I never really had a moment where I thought I should back out. No. No? I haven't.
Oh, good. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
What kind of preparations did you have to do before the surgery? Like, either mentally or physically for the actual procedure?
I think mentally or emotionally, you know, I got the phone call pretty quickly there was like a cancellation or something, and so they kind of notified us several days before, and so my process of getting ready happened quite quick. You know, I talked to all my friends. I was in college at the time. You know, I went to the chapel and I prayed. I talked to some friends and they kind of gave me lots of words of encouragement. And then, you know, we threw a little bit of a party before you were in the hospital prepping. And we had a Jell-O and like soup broth party. And aunts and uncles came over. We had a priest come over and do anointing of the sick.
So why was it a Jell-O and broth party?
So part of the physical preparations was probably the least fun of the whole process. So I had to go on a liquid diet fast for 2 days. So what that means is anything that's clear and liquid. So that could be as basic as water or soup broth or Jell-O. I drank a lot of those like vitamin waters and didn't eat for 2 days. So I was pretty hungry and feeling very empty. And then on top of that, I had to give myself an enema. But luckily I hadn't eaten for 2 days, so it wasn't too terrible because I was basically empty already. But that was definitely quite an experience the night before the surgery to have to give yourself an enema. And if you don't know what an enema is, maybe Keith will link it somewhere here or there or something.
Yeah, so we don't have to talk about that.
Yeah, I won't go into the details of what that is.
Yeah. So would you say that was the hardest part of the experience?
I would say the recovery was probably harder than that because I didn't realize how much it would take out of me. I think it was very draining. I remember going back to college a week later and I had a pretty tight class schedule, and so I had to walk across campus, and I usually could make it to class, you know, a couple minutes early. Well, I ended up getting to class like 10 or 15 minutes late because I couldn't walk quick enough to get to the other side of campus.
I didn't know that.
And then I also developed something called a hematoma, which was, I guess, what would it be called? Or like
it's a big blood clot, isn't it?
Yeah, like a big blood clot, like the size of a softball over the incision. And so I couldn't wear pants or underwear for several months because it just was too tight. And so I had to wear yoga pants and skirts and different things. I couldn't fit into my jeans because the hematoma was so big. I couldn't button them.
Didn't you name the hematoma?
Helga.
Helga.
Helga the hematoma because she was ugly.
You had the hematoma for a while.
Yeah, and then that just kind of slowly went away.
Were there any other side effects since then?
No, and people ask me that all the time, like, oh, how are you doing? And I'm like, I'm doing fine. My body doesn't really seem to miss the kidney, which is good. When I've gotten blood work, everything has come back. All my numbers have been good. So the other kidney really kicked it into gear. And I've had no health concerns or scares or anything that is related to my lack of one kidney. So it worked out well for both of us.
Yeah.
Perfect. But if my kidney fails, I'm gonna have to ask you for the kidney back.
Yeah, I'll re-gift it.
Yeah.
If you had any closing comments about it or anything that you wanted people to know about giving a kidney or anything like that.
I would say that if you're ever in a situation where you have the opportunity to donate a kidney or part of your liver or whatever, and you're in good health, it's definitely a really great gift that you can give someone. And make sure you check that box on your driver's license. And
yeah.
I don't know. It's not something I really think about all that often.
Yeah, it's nice for me too because you don't bring it up to me all that often either.
Well, I forget.
Yeah, you don't hold it over my head or anything. Well, I gave you a kidney, so
no,
you should do this. Well,
no.
So, thank you for tuning into this week's video. Make sure to like and subscribe. If you have any other questions for Kathleen, you can leave them down below. And that's gonna be it. So,
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Sir Legless Lad, out.